We thought we'd kind of dive into, as part of moving, the hardest thing is leaving your friends and family behind and having to start over. And Karen and I, when we both moved, were kind of in interesting positions in that we were in our 30s. So a little bit later, we didn't have kids and we had jobs that were remote. And so that just created this whole new level of having to figure out how to make friends. We were in, different kinds of cultural climates, because it's amazing how much states differ culture to culture and how you make friends. So that was a big learning curve for both of us. So we'd love to talk through that. And I know a lot of people I have heard talk about just how difficult it can be to make friends in your 30s and beyond. So hopefully this can be helpful, but most importantly, just kind of wanted to share where we're coming from. So I thought, Karen, it would be funny if we talked about how we became friends, because I don't know if everyone listening knows how we even got connected. So what was your memory of meeting me?
Oh my gosh. So I don't fully remember the exact moment we met. But you have to picture, I know for sure it was 2016. And
Yeah.
you have 2016, I'm sure I don't think we started really becoming friends until 2017. But 2016 was when we first started attending church together. And you have to picture 2016 baby Karen. She had a really short bob. So my hair, if you can't see the video right now, my hair is really long. It's been long for a few years now. But in 2016, I must have had some kind of existential crisis because I just like, I'm going to cut my hair. And so I cut it into a bob that originally was to my, right above my shoulders. So still quite short. And then a few months later, I cut it all the way to my chin. And I also had bangs.
It was the bangs, man.
The
That was,
Dora the
yes.
Explorer bangs is how there was a guy at church that would call me Dora because I just had her haircut. But yeah, that's how Paige met me. And I am surprised she even became my friend because I look like a 6-year-old child.
It is really funny because I don't recognize you sometimes in those pictures because your hair is so long and beautiful. And you're still so cute. But I joked, I think I said this at Karen's wedding when I gave a speech, that I heard Karen before I met her because Karen has a very contagious laugh and was just so friendly and bubbly. So I remember being like, oh, that girl seems really nice. And Karen, of course, being friendly and bubbly, immediately introduced herself to me because I think you'd been going to Gateway a little before me. So yeah, I think you ended up joining my small group. I had this crazy church groups, kind of a church Bible study for young professionals. And it was co-ed. And I led it by myself. And there were 25 people, 30 that would show up. And so Karen and a couple of our other friends were there for the beginning. And we're also part of a girls' Bible study. And then that ended up branching off into a girls' Bible study that we became part of this big friend group in that now stays in touch and is really close. And then Karen and I just kind of hit it off. I feel like we kind of became closer friends, I feel like first, just because we both love food and walking and talking. And so that was just immediate.
And I think
yes.
I lived in Las Colinas at the time.
Yes.
And I think you had a client or something over there. So you were in the Las Colinas area a lot. So I remember us getting lunch sometimes, and of course weekend hangouts and things with a big group. But yeah, I think we just had a lot in common. And yeah, I remember being really impressed by Paige leading this giant small group by herself, because just a lot of people had co-leaders. I think you did 2 or 3 different groups at one time, but that was the main one that you were doing. Plus you had this really high octane job that you worked all hours for, led this group about being a young professional, and somehow made time for friends and family. And I remember just thinking this girl is doing everything and she's just amazing, and I'm going to be your friend.
She did not sleep is what she did. Looking back, I don't think I could do that either. But that's,
yeah, we were in our
so
20s.
funny.
We could handle those types of things at the time, not anymore.
Yeah. Karen introduced me to pho as well, which I remember it took me 45 minutes to eat 1/4 of my bowl because I didn't realize you need to slurp them, and it's it's not a traditional soup process. And Karen kept trying to be like, no, just like go in and get it. And I was like, no, this is crazy. And
Yeah, there was
she taught me.
yeah, so it's pho. It's a Vietnamese noodle soup, and there's a place in Las Colinas that was like one of my favorites. So I remember you came and I like made you do all the things, like put the hoisin sauce and the sriracha and all the like toppings and stuff. Those were some good times.
Yeah, I know. I owe Karen for expanding my culinary taste. So good friends break bread. So